Hey everybody, we are now entering milestone 3. This week we are going to be talking about using color contrasts. First of all, I'm going to go to Learning Path to make sure everybody knows exactly where everything is. You will click on milestone 3. I guess it's already up. And something that's a little bit different, this time I've actually made a PowerPoint. So it's right under here. You can click on Instructional PowerPoint. It should pop up. It's loading, it's loading, it's loading. You know, I always suggest that you download it instead of watching it from here, okay? Okay, I'm back. I went ahead, I opened up the PowerPoint, and also I'm trying to be a little tricky here. Let's see how it goes. I've got your template for Illustrator open as well. So this is what your template is going to look like this week. Okay, so you're just going in and you're changing colors, and I will go through each one of these. Okay, so you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. This is an extra credit. I will get to that in a little bit. Very few people or actually kind of figure this out, but I might give you a few tips, and maybe you can be the first class to figure out the color schemes. Okay, so we're going to look here at number 1. So this is going to be your task. Task 1, they're all labeled. Contrast of hue, contrast of warm and cool, simultaneous contrast, contrast of proportion, contrast of light and dark, contrast of complementary colors, and contrast of saturation. So I'm going to flick there pretty soon. You can read all the slides, but the whole thing is you're going to be using pure colors for the majority of this project. It's pretty much just selecting and adding the colors. And I've also added the color palette up here so to be a little bit easier for you, okay? So the first section, what you're going to do, you're going to work with contrasting hues. You can really pick any colors you want for this, but they have to be pure colors. You can do any combinations for this. So, but this is something you cannot do. I do not want you to copy what I've done. If I see somebody doing exactly what I'm doing here, you won't get credit. These are just examples. These are only examples. Create your own solutions, okay? So you're going to pick any two that works well. And the way it works is, let me look over here. You have to, let me see if I can, well, oops. This is kind of tricky. Let me see if I can get a little bit bigger here. I did a little bit. Okay, so I'm taking my little hand. I'm on number 1. So any two that I can, I'm going to put this over here, that I can choose. So I'm going to choose, it's already grouped. So I'm going to pick, I think I'm going to pick this purple. Whoop. One thing you might have to do is you might have to ungroup this color palette here. So I'm going to go File or Object, Ungroup. Now I can select each one differently. Okay, so click off of that. I think I'm going to pick this one, go to the eyedropper, and I'm going to pick purple. Okay, click off. Now the background. Each background has to be a color. So I think I'm going to pick, I don't know, let me see. Eyedropper, I'm going to do green. That's kind of really interesting. Okay, so this is pretty much what we're doing. You can pick, you can experiment with anything, just don't use any that I have, okay? You're going to get the most contrast if you go more across the color wheel. So let's do this. Let's do, you don't want to do complementary because we're going to have a whole exercise with that. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this goldfish. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to make the eyedropper, and I'm going to click blue. Okay, click off. The background, I'm going to do, okay, pick blue, red. How cool is that? This kind of is like, down the road, we're going to talk about simultaneous contrast. The best way I explain this, that the pieces kind of vibrate against each other. And the way I think about it is like the worst selection of text that you cannot read with the color background. That's how you really, really know, that it's simultaneous and it's starting to vibrate. So there's two pieces of that. Okay. So that is number one. How simple is that? Took, I don't know, 2 minutes. So now we're going to go to the next one. The next one is task 2, warm and cool. I will go down to my PowerPoint. This is very, very simple. Half of your color palette is warm and half of it is cool. Warm, cool. So you're just having contrasting. So warm on cool. So warm, I'm clicking the fish. We wanted a warm color. Okay, so let's pick eyedropper. Well, you can't get any warmer than red, right? Okay. Let's go ahead and click this one too. Let's pick another warm color. Okay, so warm color is yellow, the sun. So eyedropper, yellow. Did that click? Yellow. Okay. So now I'm going to do 2 more. If you want to take the outlines off of this, it's all you have to do is highlight it, go down to here, and do none. Okay, so it's going to look a lot better and a lot better color combinations. Highlight the fish. This is outline, this is a fill, and you just do this little none. Okay, and I think it's going to look so much better. So now let's do the backgrounds. We have to pick a cool color. Cool colors, blues and stuff like that. So I'm going to pick, let's see, eyedropper. I'm going to pick, I'm going to pick this color. No, I'm going to pick this color. Kind of used that last time. I think I'm going to pick this color. What's really, really, whoops. What's really nice about this, keep changing it to what you want, okay? So warm on cool, all right? Let's pick the next one. Oh, another cool color. Whoops. Cool color. We've got the eyedropper. Let's do blue. Really cool. So the thing about this is warm colors come forward, cool colors recede, okay? So now what you're going to do for these two, you're going to have cool on warm. Cool colors for the fish, the background's going to be warm. Here, you're mixing warms. Here, you're mixing cools. So let's hop down to, let's do warms. A warm is orange. I'm going to go and click off that outline, and then I'm going to pick the background, which would be, let's say eyedropper red. Very cool, huh? Very, very cool. So you're just playing with warm on cools, okay? I mean, this is, well, warm on warms, cool on cools, okay? Second task complete. How easy is that? Okay, so let's go to 3. What is number 3? 3 is simultaneous contrast. That's where we get into where you're trying your best to make pieces vibrate. As you can see here, this totally vibrates. You can see which one is, if it's the hardest to read, it kind of has this combination where it just vibrates. I'm not going to give you any tips on this. There's plenty of tips here. Even get online and kind of really research this because it has this vibrating sensation, okay? So this is a really, really good example, like right here. If you, or 2 pure colors like this, it just has this vibrating sense. This really is vibrating here, okay? If it's too much contrast, it's just gonna be too mutable. This is probably the worst one of all. This is probably a really bad example here, okay? So it has, like I said, it's formed when the boundaries between the colors vibrate with one another. Okay, that's task 3. Okay, let's go to, take my little hand here. And this is kind of working out, doing 2. I might, if you guys really like the PowerPoints, please get back with me. I think it's going to be, let me move this over a little bit. If you make it easy to understand, okay? So now we're going to proportion. So you're, on this, you've got the blue square, you got a bigger square and a little square. It looks totally different, right? You get a really, really difference. The contrast really kind of makes this positive and negative look a lot different, okay? So this is what you're going to do. This one is actual, this is a really, really good example here. So what you're going to do, you can play around with this. On these, they are, if you find they're grouped, you go under object and ungroup it. So that way you can select one piece. So there's different ways to do this. You can pick, well, let me get back with that. I'm going to group it. So I'm going to make this a color. I'm going to make this, and this is just one way to do it. You do not have to do it this way. So play around with a little background here. You can do any color you want here. Okay, so I'm going to pick, I think I'm going to pick something that's very similar. Wow, that is very similar. So now I'm going to take this fish and I am going to copy it, Command C, Command V, and then I'm going to change the size of this fish. Okay, I'm going to take the size and it's going to be, I click it right here, and I'm going to put it at 30%. Return, okay? So now I'm going to put this fish anywhere I want, but I'm going to put it like right there, okay? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down here to the color and I'm going to make it lighter, okay? I'm going to put down my shift key and I'm going to move everything to the left, okay? I took my shift key and I just moved it. Everything moves together, keeps it in sync. So now I am going to take out those black lines though. So now you've got contrast in size. You've got contrast in color and you've got contrast in size. So it's kind of cool. Here's kind of like the same thing here. I think this is really great because you've got a really small yellow little whisker things or whatever, antennas and things. So what you're doing, you're just doing different sizes. Some people do, you can even leave it, here, let's do this too. I want to show you something you can do that's really, really fun. I am going to take this fish and I am going to make it red, okay? And then I'm going to take the black lines off of it. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Command C, Command V, and I am going to make this thing, I think 10%. So it's a little bitty fish. So now I'm going to take that fish and I'm going to make a little pattern. I'm going to do it easy for you. There's later on I'm going to show you how to make patterns, but I'm just going to go Command C, Command V, Command V, or you can highlight it and you can hold down your Option key and you can make a bunch of little fish here. Hold down the Option key. So now you've got contrast to proportion. Okay, some are small, some are big. Okay, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something really kind of crazy too. I think I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna make that one white. Just for something fun. What the hey? You could actually put a bunch more fish on. Just have fun with it. That's what I do. You just get so wrapped up into this stuff. It just makes it kind of fun. If you think up on here, I think, oh, maybe I want a little bit different contrast here, okay? Maybe I'm going to go in and I'm going to take my eyedropper and maybe I'll make it the same color as the fish. Well, that's kind of interesting too. You've got contrast by different sizes of the same image. I am going to go in and take out that. So this is just one piece. Now, do your own thing. Don't do as I do. It's kind of a great example. It is kind of a good idea though. Okay, so now we're going to go to task 5. A lot of students do this wrong for some reason, and it's like one of the easiest to do. So let me see on my PowerPoint. Okay, this is the trick on this. So I'm going to click on this. You're going to take your arrow and you're going to hold down your shift and you're going to go highlight every fish, just the fish, okay? Now, what you're going to do, you're going to put 20% let's make sure this is in the front. You're going to put 20% on all of your fish. Okay? Voila. Whoop. But you have to go in to make this work really well. You have to go in, highlight them again, take off your outline. Okay? Just put 0 there. That should work. Cancel. I don't know what I did there. Well, why isn't that taking that off? Or you can do that. You can highlight all of your fish, drag this from the back to the front, and now I've got solid fish. Now, what you're going to do, you're going to do variations here. You're going to go 10%. Whoops. Make sure it's a fill, not a stroke, okay? This one is going to be 30%. Well, man, make sure that you have the background on. Make sure this is at the front. Okay, now I got it. Okay, this fill should be 30%. This one is going to be 40%. This one is going to be 50%. This one is going to be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, just in black and white, 80, and 90. Okay, so what you're achieving here is something very cool. This fish and this fish is 20%, but this one looks darker because it's on a lighter background. This one looks lighter because it's on a darker background. That is the whole theory behind light and dark. Right here is a really good display of this right here. It's a really exercise. Follow directions, because I don't know why some people come up with some really weird stuff. Complementary colors, self-explanatory. I'm just going to do one really quick. I'm going to do eyedropper, red, take off the background, and then I'm going to do the complementary color of red is green. And come on, guys, everybody should know this by now, okay? We have been, so all 6 complementary pairs. Next, kind of whipping through here, but it's not going to take you very long at all. Just follow directions, okay? Okay, contrast of saturation. This one is one that a lot of students kind of get wrong too. I don't know why. Okay, there's an example of the complementary colors. Okay, here. Very self-explanatory here. This is where I want you to take one of your monochromatic, I use goldfish because nobody seems to be picking the goldfish. Go back to your, I think it might be Unit 1 that you have a monochromatic B. Go back and get it, and you can cut and paste it on here, or you can redo it. It really doesn't matter. This is monochromatic. So once you do your monochromatic B, you're going to repeat it 3 times, okay? You can just click those off. If you want to just get rid of these, you just delete them. If you have one, and you just copy and paste, okay? So every single B is going to be the very same. And it's going to be a monochromatic. Okay, make sure you got lots of bright colors here. Then you're going to put on 3 different backgrounds. You're going to have a white background, a 50% background, and a black background. So you can see how different images look on different backgrounds. It's a really cool exercise. Okay, hope I'm not talking too fast, but my family says, Tammy, or what are you talking about? It's like, oh, don't interrupt you while I'm talking to myself. But talking fast, but it just is going to go quickly. Okay, this is the extra credit. You can double your points on this assignment, but you have to know what you're doing. So here, extreme contrast of value, subtle relationship of chroma, right? So what does that say? Pick one and use, all these are monochromatic. Both these are monochromatic. So what would you do? Use one version of your color and put it in all different values. You're not going to go up and down your chroma scale. You're going to pretty much stay where you're at, but you're going to go up and down on your value scale. Okay. This is the second, this is the other one. Change the chroma. You got all kinds of different chromas here, and subtle relationship of value. So maybe you have extreme contrast and chroma, but then maybe everything has like a 30% value to it. You have to really think about this. And what's really interesting about this, when I was in college way back when, and we did these assignments each week in color theory, but the thing is, it was all hand painted. So it took a lot of time. And we also had to graph our values and hues and values. But this is a really good chance to double your point value. So I think you get 10 on this assignment, you can get 20. So it's a nice little extra credit, but very few students get this right. So I want to see, I'm giving you a little bit more clues than I have before. So hopefully that'll help you out. So anyway, there we go. I'm at like 20 minutes. Wow. But I'm almost completed the whole assignment in 20. I know I went fast and clicked here and there and stuff like that, but I hope this works out. And I'm also, a few students, you're just not handing in your work. I am giving you every opportunity to be successful in this class. It's all you have to do is email me. I can set up a one-on-one. I love doing this stuff. Maybe there's 2 or 3 students I can schedule at one time and just go through the whole thing. I mean, if you still can't figure out how to get the software on your computer, you have to ask for help, okay? Because this is really, I made it really easy for you. This is not a hard program, and you'll probably be using it in the future. But I think it's a very important project, and there's so much satisfaction at the end of this semester when you have this beautiful poster, okay? So good luck. I'm so excited. And one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start looking at announcements, because I'm going to highlight students' work that are doing just a fabulous job. This is a fabulous project, and it's my favorite class to teach. So good luck, and I look forward to see your work.